welcome to Roo Doodles Live. Hey, I'm Michael, or the grandkids call me Roo. So you can just say, hey, Roo, and I'll say, hey, what? I'll jump back at you like that. Welcome aboard. Thank you for finding me in the afternoon. I'm so glad you're here. It's 4 o'clock somewhere. It's tea time for me, but not hot tea today. I'm drinking iced tea out of a ball mason jar. Sounds only fitting, doesn't it? Hey, I'm so glad to have you guys. Let me show you the desk here before we say hello and do some greeting here. I got to show you this on behalf of my dear friend Skeeter. Here it is, Skeeter. There's the desk right there. Skeeter, I drew one. Wait a minute. It says hide. I think I should go hide. Okay. Here, let me show you what it's like here. There's the Skeeter right there. So, let's just start off by saying welcome, and let me say hello to some folks here. So I'm going to try and get your names right. Is it D-U-N-H? Is that Den or Dunn or and Bree? And I got Tia down there, and I've got, hey, Lynn, thank you for jumping on board. Good to have you in the afternoons. And Zoe, thank you from somewhere in Salisbury. And Judy Skinner, I see some people, folks, a lot of the folks who've jumped on with the Thursday art. A lot of my morning Roo Doodles folks have come over too to say hello to you guys and appreciate that you're learning art also. So there's going to be some folks join us on here. It'll keep the conversation going a little bit. You know, it really is a one-sided conversation, but I can see your comments and I'll jump back and forth and get some of them. And I'm just fast-brained enough to paint and talk and tell and, you know, anything but dance. Don't get me dancing. Sophie, I see you on here. Is it Cher? I see you on here. Yes, I see that. Maggie P, I see you on here. Hello, that's awesome. David Bosworth, David, Maggie. I'm writing some names down here on my desk. And then, hey, Pat. Hey, Linda. Skeeter took a pic. I love it. I love that. I love that. Okay. Wow. Let's see what that picture looks like, Skeeter. Oh, there it is. How is that cool? Wait a minute. Let's see if I can blow that up. That's a trip right there. Oh, I love it. Hey, I can do all kinds of things here. So, Jenny Field, welcome in the afternoons. So, folks, from David's Table in Greenville, South Carolina, and from Capernaum, if you all hear me saying hello to other folks, and you might see it on your screen, there's lots of folks popping up here. Every morning, I paint Roo Doodles Live from 8:57 in the mornings for about an hour, and I just kind of go on a crazy course of telling stories and painting and doing wild things. So whether or not, I don't know what supplies you have. I don't know what you have with you, but I sent out a couple paintings. If you don't have that, we'll get it sometime in the future. But I'm going to paint slowly a couple roosters just so you can say, oh, and I'll give you the whole history. Why does this guy paint roosters? Okay, here it is. Well, right now I'm going to paint a mosquito. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is just brush him here with some water and see if he takes some shape. Yeah, I think you can see that happening here. So this is Skeeter. Yeah, you know, you folks know him as Skeeter Powell or Robert Powell. I knew him as Skeeter back in 1972 in the mountains of western North Carolina. I showed up just a graduated senior from high school to this camp to be on work crew, and Skeeter was my work crew boss. He was a few years older than me, not much. He knew enough to give me a lawnmower and point me towards some green grass, and it was pretty fun to be a part of that serving in the ministry of Young Life. All right, so there we go. Mosquitoes don't have a whole lot of color. So, hey, Alex, good to have you here. I'm right. I'll miss a few names, but you guys can keep me up with them later. Burke, I saw you. You've been following me a little bit. There's Jennifer Martin. There's Jenny from Ohio. Hi from Valley Forge. Randall Taylor. Craven. Kim, you're here. How about that? All day, every day. Roo painting. Great. Brendan, you're on here. I love that. Thank you for being here. Brendan. Berkey. Is it Burke or Berkey? Okay, got it. Brendan, that's right. Brendan, I think I saw you sketch last week. I think I saw you sketch a marvelous dove. And I was so impressed with your pencil work and how you did that. And also the little details on the wings. Man, you do a great job. And so I am so glad that you volunteer your time and services to help folks learn how to draw. You're good, man. And I think you're young, right? Just out of high school or still in high school. Maybe I'm insulting you, but don't feel bad if somebody insults you for being young. Trust me. Okay, so here we go. Chip Fur. Chip Fur is my dear friend who's having tea and coffee. Chip, look at me, man. I got a ball mason jar of some tough, strong brewed tea. You're probably having jasmine with the queen, but I'm having tea with these folks out of Greenville. David's Table is the organization. Man, they do some great ministry work, and they hang out with these folks. They take them bowling. They play tennis. You guys are doing a ukulele. If you like the ukulele lady like you. If you like to linger where it's shady, the ukulele lady linger too. If you kiss a ukulele lady while you promise ever to be true, and she sees another ukulele lady fooling around with you, maybe she'll sigh, pa-da-pa-da. Maybe she'll cry. Maybe she'll find somebody else by and by. If you like to linger where it's shady. This is why I've sang the whole song. Where the tricky wicky wacky woo. If you like the ukulele lady like you. There you go. Drew a palm tree while I sang that. Psalm 92:12. You know what that says? The righteous, thou shalt flourish like a palm tree. That's my verse when I lived in Florida. All right, here we go. Let's paint. He's singing. It's scary, isn't it? Oh, thank you, David. You're kind, man. All right, here we go. I'm going to use the template, and so here we go with it right here. I'm going to throw this piece of card down. Boom. Thanks, Skeeter. Give me directions from time to time. I sent you a rooster. There it is right there. That's the original that I scanned. Maggie Painter, is your name really Painter? I love that if it is. That's fabulous. I don't know. You have Maggie Painter written on there. I think that's fantastic. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this rooster that I sent you a file on, and I've sent you this little one too. But let's start with the big one because, you know, life is short. So let's just paint the big old rooster and establish him in the farm, the barnyard, and we'll go from there. He is stalwart. He's got a lot to say. So here we go. Sheriff says we got big skeeters in Maine. All right, here we go. Ukulele lady, like a you. Ukulele lady Roo. Ash, we could write that song. All right, here we go. Now I'm gonna hit a little classical music just because I think to do a rooster like this. I mean, look at this guy. His comb. This is his comb. Comb. C-O-M-B, just like we need it in my hair. That's why I put this painting out there in the front. I need a brush because my comb is not working. This is the comb. This is the wattle. It's W-A-T-T-L-E. That's the wattle. You got a hack. You got everything. You got tail feathers. You got pin feathers. You got a saddle. Didn't think of a rooster having a saddle. You got all kinds of parts to the rooster, but we're not into anatomy class. We're just into painting class. So here we go. All right. Hey, Margie, welcome aboard. Hey, Alice, Jordan. Thank you guys for jumping in. If the folks who watch me in the morning, do me a favor, just for fun, sometime today, write down David's Table. David's Table, just as it sounds. David's Table. All right, think of serving. Come to the table and look them up. My dear friends in Greenville, South Carolina, do an unbelievable ministry with some folks, and man, they are special people. I've met some of them as Skeeter comes through every now and then, blasting through Charlotte. All right, here we go. Here's what I like to do. I like to start at the top and work down because if I start at the bottom and work up, guess what happens? I get my hand all in the paint. Now, I don't know if you're painting today. I don't know if you're using flare pens, colored pencils. I got them all. I got buckets full of stuff that we could do, but I'm going to use watercolor paint and show you how I break into this easy watercolor process. Because people sometimes, and I tell my morning crew this, the Roo crew, they don't paint watercolor because they're afraid of watercolor. And I'm going like, be afraid of a dog that has teeth like this, but don't be afraid of watercolor, okay? All right. So here we go. All right. Yes, move a little to the right. I can tell when Carla's on. Move a little to the right, she says. Fight, fight, fight. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to take a little bit of water, and I've got a brush. You know, you probably see brushes like this all the time. You probably see brushes like this. These are regular, now a number 4, a number 7. These are watercolor brushes. So is this. It's just made a little looser on the end, and it's bamboo. here, so it's very lightweight. Here's what it looks like before it's wet. Take a look at that. Wow, it's amazing, huh? Peggy, where did you get the template? I drew it, and actually you can go to my Facebook page and print it off there. I think it prints a little smaller, but you can trace it off if you want. This is just a quick original that I did for these folks that I'm painting without a Greenville. Whoops, now I dropped my brush, so I'm down here picking it up. All right, so here we go. So when you wet a bamboo brush, folks, and I'm going to slow down just a little bit. When you wet a bamboo brush, here's what happens. Drag it a little bit on some paper towel. Always keep those handy right there. I call this a blotter, but it's just a paper towel. Look what happens when I straighten it out. Look at that. That all that fluffy brush that looked like this now looks like that. This one's the wet one here. This is the dry one. Want to see it again? Watch this. Wet this brush, drag it a little bit. Look at it now. It's a little fuller, but that's going to hold a lot of water. So if you're painting watercolor, I might leave that out, and I'm going to show you how to do a piece of sky with that in a minute, okay? Or one of these brushes. Okay, so here we go. I've got a watercolor brush, and I'm going to go in, and these are my paints that I'm using today right there. There they are. This is my palette. Really, to make this simple, here's what I'm going to do today, okay? Don't worry about most of these colors. Just concern yourself with 3 colors today. Here they are. This red, which is bright red, Joe's red, Mama's red, or this is blue or French blue or ultramarine blue, and this is yellow or deep yellow or Gamboge, but really red, blue, and yellow. That's it. I'm going to do this rooster with just red, blue, and yellow. So that way, if you're just starting out, you can go, there's no way that guy painted that rooster with those 3 colors. And I say, oh, yes, there is. So watch, and I'll do it right here, okay? All right, so I've got all this palette over here, but I promise you, word of honor on holding up a brush, I'm just going to use those 3 colors. So the first one I'm going to use is a little red. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just take, if I don't have a little spray bottle, I'll just take a brush, and I'll just drop a little bit of water in my paint like this. Bloop, bloop. I'm just sort of shaking a little clean water down in the paint. Just a little bit there to soften them up a little bit, okay? Just let it wander around in there for a little bit. And as my old friend, which wasn't my friend, Bob Ross would say, let them get happy. All right, here we go. Man, the orchestra just went wild on me. You guys are thinking what do you think I'm doing here? All right, here we go. I need something to paint with. All right, so now I'm going in there, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm not going to pay close attention to staying in between the lines. It's okay if I do. It's okay if I don't. Don't worry about it. Here we go. Watch. I'm really not stroking this like I'm painting a house. I'm really just sort of doing short little ticks with my brush. Look at this. In fact, I'm directing the orchestra here a little bit. All right. Starting his comb. That's his comb. See that? How simple is that? I started at the top. I'm working down, because if I started here, I'd be putting my hand in it on the way up. I'm messy enough as it is. Okay? All right, so here we go. Still got the red. Got to go in behind his beak. There's a little bit of red wattle that comes out there. Look on real roosters. It happens all the time. And look what I just did. I just painted his wattle. That's the piece of fleshy skin that hangs down under his knee. And when old men get this way, here's what happened. I left a little white space in there. I'm leaving it. I like it. I like it. Okay. See some little white spaces up here too? Like, hey, he didn't get all in the lines there. That doesn't bother me at all. I kind of like it. The lines for me are just like, sort of like, that's where the cornfield is. But don't worry about running over a few of the stems of corn, stalks of corn. No big deal, okay? So there we go. That's the first thing we're going to do right there. Everybody moving so far? All right, this is like a square dance. I'm seeing people say, move to the right, move to the left. Hey, Ash, it's a sit-down square dance, brother. I knew when I wrote that it would be of use for it. Okay, take a look. I painted the comb. I painted the wattle. I could have painted it with one of these pens. I could have painted it with this pen right here. I could have painted it like this. I'm coming back. Don't lose me, okay? I like to sketch fast. I could have painted it with a flare. Here's a flare pen right here. I could have put a little bit of flare in there. I could have painted it with a red colored pencil. So depending on what you have, you know what? It's like that old saying they say about cameras. Here's what they say about cameras. The best camera is the one that you have with you. So if you only have pencils, colored pencils, or watercolor pencils, use them. That's fantastic. If you have a charcoal, use it. Put the pencil in, put some water on top of it. Look, I'm getting the same effect. See that? Okay, so that's for you folks that say, ooh, sometimes I'd like to have watercolors, but I don't have them here. All I have today is pencils or pens. If you have a pen, you can do it with pen too. Trust me. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm going to do two at one time. That'll just give us something to go with. Show you a little thing that happens. Okay, so I painted the comb and the wattle. All right, and we're into this for 15 minutes. We're going to finish this rooster and move right ahead. I want his beak to be strong yellow. Remember I told you I was using three colors. I'm using yellow or Gambo-G. That's a good word. I just like saying it. Gambo-G. Gambo-G. I'm a crazy person, okay, which I love. All right, so here we go. It's yellow. It's bright yellow. Look at this. Ooh, Brendan says, I'm free-handing the rooster with watercolor pencils. Brendan, man, I'm loving it. I want to see pictures when this thing rolls out. I love his style, so he's knocking it down. Okay, this is the art, the high school art guy. Did I insult you by saying you're high school? Tell me what year you are, man. I know you've been in high school, but are you out now? You are a good artist because I've seen your work. So where do you find the PDFs of the Roo? I don't know if it transfers a PDF. I think if you go to my Facebook page where you are right now, drop down under the live, you should see the earlier post today that may have a little piece of art there. You can drag over to your desktop and then print it. Okay. All right. Way to go, Clay. Glad you're here. Made it. Hello, Doodles. Hello, Bobby. Just graduated. Fantastic, man. You graduated from high school. I saw your art the other day, and I saw you teaching art, and I just love that. All right, so look what I did. I put some water in my brush, and I put yellow in my brush, and I hit my brush up in the comb, and some of that red bled into the yellow, and it created orange. You got it. The three primary colors, yellow, red, and blue. That's what we're dealing with. Look at the orange. That's awesome there. I love that. That's a good look, okay? I like it very much. Now, here's what I'm going to do. All right. All right. Anybody else? Let's say here, stick to painting, Roo. Quit singing, Ash says. All right. All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Let's see. We're all in right here. All right. I'm gonna go get some. I'm gonna go get some blue. All right. And I'm gonna first, before I put the blue in, I'm just gonna go fill up my brush with water, and I'm gonna paint the tail of this rooster with nothing but clean water. I just dropped some right on my painting there, but that's okay. Here we go. I'm trying to show you what I'm doing, and I'm dropping water. All right. I'm just putting a lot of water in here, okay? Some people wet the whole piece of watercolor paper down. I've found that I just like to control it a little more. And yes, I use that word control by just dropping some water in sporadic places and piling it in a couple places. All right. So you can't really see what I did, but trust me, roo your boat. There we go, Skeeter. I just put a lot of water in there. Wish I could do this, but when my pencil pen hits the paper, it looks like I'm having a stroke instead of drawing. Simple Roo. You guys are, I love the sense of humor. All right, here we go. Now what I'm doing is I'm rolling my brush just in a little bit of this ultramarine flinch blue. Look, I'm just twisting it in there. I'm loading it up with some of this really thick blue. Remember I put water in there? And the water softened the colors up. So now what I'm doing is I'm just rolling my brush in it. I'm not pushing it in hard. And by the way, this is huge. Listen to me very carefully. Every time I use a color and I take my brush back to get a new color, I make sure my brush is cleaned out. It's way too much trouble to lay this brush down, pick up another brush, and go, oh, this is my red brush. This is my, nah. You're wasting just a tiny bit of paint. Plus, so I rinse my brush out very carefully before I put it in the next color. I want to keep these colors as pristine as possible. Okay? If I start mixing them now, I'm going to have brown by the time we're done today, and I've ruined my art palette. Okay? But all right, so now I've painted that with water. I just let it set for a minute. Now I'm just going to put some blue in there, and watch what's happening. The blue's just sort of running around. You see it? It's moving. It's following the water. It's following the water. Okay? And you're saying to yourself, he just painted up there where there were no lines. No one said you had to stay between them or even fill in everything that was there. I just put them there for a reference. Okay? I put them there to help you today see what we were getting ready to paint. Look at that. What a stalwart tail. Hear that noise? I'm rinsing my brush out in this clean water. There it is right there. Just giving it a little wiggle in there. Then after I do that, I go into the blotter, dry it off a little bit. Now I'm going to need some red to pick up in here just a little bit. So I'm going to grab some red. And we'll come in here and pick up some of this right here. Mixing with this blue, I'm getting this great purple that I really like. And now I'm going to go in here and get some more of my yellow. And I'm going to come in here now and put some of this in here. And I'm hoping some of this yellow will turn into kind of a light, good-looking green. See it sort of turn a little green there on me? And then I'm going to put that right in here. Okay? So far, I've just used 3 colors. Red, blue, yellow. Okay? That's all I'm using on this root. Making him really simple. Wash my brush out again, went back up, get a little bit of red here, a little more. Now I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to make a little bit of orange right here. I'm making orange right on his belly. See that? I'm just rolling this little touch of red into here. But watch what I do with this orange. I'm just going to pick it up by rolling my brush around in it. I could use one of these brushes, would work just as good, okay? If you don't have a bamboo brush, just a good watercolor brush. But I'm going to go down and do his legs in this yellow or this orange that I picked up from there. So I didn't mix this color in my palette. I mixed this color on the bird, okay? Just put a couple little spots of that blue in there and just let them run for a minute. Watch what happens. Put a little water on top of them. Might even give them a little blow. Watch this. All right, I didn't even use my brush. I just picked it up and I blew on it. And look what happened. It sort of caused that to soften up like little pin feathers. All right, don't you love that? That's so cool. Okay. Hey, Ezra, good morning to you. All right. Clay, thanks for making it on. Peggy, I hope you got the template. Yes, okay, you're heading that way. Root times 2. It's a good day. Thanks, Judy. Glad you guys are here. Rosalind, thank you for saying hello. Pat. I'm Den Dip. I'm Skeeter's friend. Den, thank you for being on. I think I saw your painting of a dove a couple weeks ago, maybe, or a week ago. All right. Glad you guys are on here. Thank you for being a part of this today. And I love painting with you. And I love the fact that you guys just get out there and go crazy and bowl and just live life to the fullest. Thank you so much for being a part of David's Table. And I know Skeeter and those guys are fun to hang out with. Skeeter and I have laughed a lot in our lives. All right. So that's my roux using 3 colors. Take a look. All right. He's perfectly fine to go to the ball just like he is. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab some of this green right here in my brush. And then I might come in here and just do a little bit of a ground swell with him there. Some little dark in here. Some of that purple with the green. Go get a little bit more. Create the ground. I'm also looking for a little way to get some of the darker green. So I got a little bit of the blue and red. And then I'm going to create a little bit of shadow underneath him. I like the shadow, his tail's coming down like that. See that? Wow. I like it. I like it. I say that a lot. And I want you to say that about your art. Sometimes you ought to just look at it and go, I like it. That's not bad pride. That's just being proud of something that you make. These are great instruments, man. You were created and you can be creative. So, all right. See that spot right there that I just left open? I don't think I'm going to put anything in there. I like it so much. I like the fact that it's what we call, when you're painting a wall and you miss a spot, we call that a holiday. So I'm just giving the paper a holiday. And here's what I like. You very rarely use white paint in watercoloring. And so for me to go back and now try to put white paint in there and get some lightening up of that, no, just let the paper do its work. And also, look what's happening here. This is becoming kind of stippled, and it's got some spots in it. And where I blew on it here, it's sort of bouncing out over the lines a little bit. And I like that too. I like it so much that I'm going to put a little more blue on top of this and let it do the same thing. Might get a little more red. I might just drop a little spot of red right there just because I like it. And watch it run. Watch this piece of red take off right here because it's still wet. Sometimes this is where you take a sip of tea and you just watch the paint itself. The painting paint itself. Look. Sometimes on my morning show, because I have an hour and I have a lot of people watching and they're looking at art and they're sipping coffee and they're asking questions, I don't get time sometimes to just stop and watch the paint. You ever heard that old saying? What'd you do today? And I go, I watch paint dry. I love it. Look what this is doing. I just put one drop there, a big heavy drop. Look at it. It's taking off. I'm going to touch it in a second, but I'm not ready yet. All right. Let me say hello to some people while it does. Ezra says, I'm doing a great job. Boom. Did that take too long to draw? No, Ezra. In fact, I'm going to draw you one in a minute. And I'm going to show you when I'm hustling how fast I can really draw a roo. But I wanted to take time with this one and show you how I'm painting it. Okay. So thank you, man. Tap on some paint, please. Okay. I'll do it, Skeeter. All right. I'll show you how I splatter too. That's what we're going to do here in just a second. I'm here thanks to Skeeter, Capernaum Young Life, and 2E210. Oh, thanks, Clay. Thanks for popping up, man. I'm glad you're here for that purpose. Tara, what is the best thing to watercolor on? Not the roof of the convertible. Hey, good paper, the best paper you can afford at the time. Sometimes I watercolor in books. I do. You know, I have some books that people say you shouldn't write in books, but I'm going like, wait a minute, I bought the book. It's my book. If I want to write in the pages of the book, I can write in the book. If I want to take notes in the book. You know, people, I remember when I was a little kid, they said, hey, don't write in the Bible. I'm going like, that's the best place to take notes. So you write in there and you write things that pop to your mind and you say, oh, write promises, and you write prayers, and you write hopes, and you do all of that. That's good. In fact, they make Bibles now that have notes and people are painting in those margins. It's really awesome. For me, I like watercolor paper that has a number that goes with it. So Tara, if you're listening, that would be 140 pound. That's 140. 140 pound paper is what I like to paint with or paint on. And I'll show you some paper here before we're done today. But right now I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to just swish it. Look at this. I'm just moving it quickly like this. Yes, Lynn, I did paint a roo on a pizza box. As a matter of fact, I'll grab that here and show it in just a second. I sold one and I still have one up here. Look at that. That is a cool looking roo, even if I did paint it myself. Going back to flares. All right. So here we go. Now I'm going to take a little bit of, here's what I'm going to do today. I don't think I want to paint a sky because I like this roo and his brightness to just be jumping off of this white paper. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to dip it in a little bit of paint, just a touch of little blue paint. And then I'm going to get a pencil. Here's one right here. Or just another, here's a pencil right here. And I'm going to hold this pencil here. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to strike down and hit this pencil. See what I'm doing? Look at this. Look at my shot up here. I'm just going to go boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to hit it. And I'm going to cause this paint to splatter off. So watch this. See those little spots that appear? I just like this because it's no rhyme or reason. No one taught me this in art school because I didn't go to art school. No one taught me this in art class because I didn't go to art class. One day I just like some messiness in my paintings, and I like them to look like they're authentic and original. And so I just do it this way. I put a little down here. You know, Charlie Brown used to have that show where Pigpen walked around, and wherever he walked, there was all those little splots of dust flowing up. That's kind of how my roux are. They just kind of are like that. Now look at this. That's 3 colors, remember? So I got this wonderful blue. I got a little green in here. I got purple. And look what I have here. All this rainbow of colors. There's a little touch of brown right in here that's coming in. There's purple. There's a little bit of a violet coming down here on the leg. All that was from 3 colors. And you know that if you study art, you'll find out those are your primary colors. Now I'm taking a black pen and I'm just putting on some toenails here, because what roux wouldn't be caught scratching in the yard without toenails? And then I'm just going to do some small little lines on his toes to look like chicken feet. And then I like these little hairs that stick out in follicles, so I'm going to put some of that on there. Guess what else I can do with this pen? Maggie, I didn't know that you do other art, but I'd like to know what kind of other art you do, because I do too. I do metal art. I do, my wife does stained glass art. She has blown glass. I do wood art sometimes. I do all kinds of art too. I think once you get started in one form of art, Maggie, you just sort of go, wow, this interests me too. You know, so that's been my thing. I'm more of a generalist than a specialist, because honestly, my style has kept me from specializing in very much. But I like my style, and I like that my voice finds a style. And here's what my roosters are, Maggie. My roosters are vehicles. You really can't ride one unless it's a big, huge one and you got a saddle. But really what they are, they're delivery systems for me to tell story. Because you see, this rooster is saying something. And in a minute, it's going to come to me what he's saying. And then I'm going to write that there. And I may write it in prose. I may rhyme it. It might be one word. It might be a sentence. I might write it around the edge of the frame. I don't know yet. But all roos and all roosters speak. They are the voice of reason sometimes. They're the voice of wake up, look out, stand clear, trouble, get out of my property. They are the voice in the Bible, the voice that said, uh-oh, Peter, you're in trouble. They are, and that's Galakantu. I've been to Israel in that little city. So I know that my roosters are vehicles for my telling story. And here's what I believe about art. It's more than just you putting paint on a page. It's about you communicating. It's about you telling your story. And your story is important. Everybody's story is important. Michael Ashburn was on here a little while ago, and I got to tell you, he's one of my dearest friends. And Clay, I'm going to come to yours. And Ash and I tell stories toward each other all the time. And we've written stories together and we've told stories together. But we know that the story is the connecting point of where our lives are. And so I love that. And so art should do that. Art should tell a story. And so that's why I do roosters like this, okay? So there we go. That's the rest of that story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so there's the roux. And you know what? I got roux on him already, but I'm going to sign him like this because I'm proud of him. So you sign yours when you're done with him. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Let this one dry. Then we're going to shift gears and go into another painting. And then I want to show you a crazy way to paint in the last few minutes of our show today. We got some more time. So then I'm going to show you about painting in the books. I'm going to grab some, while you're just watching this for a second and finishing up where you are, I'm going to grab some paper so I can show you what kind of papers I use. All right. Clay says he got an F one time in art in his youth, but I enjoy watching it. You know what, Clay? If I'd been your art teacher, you wouldn't have gotten an F. I would have said, F. That's it. We can play a song in F, okay? And then we would have been somewhere else down the road and we would have had a great time in your art class. I think if you're not enjoying art, someone's probably teaching you in the wrong direction. So be careful what you do, okay? Rolling on the floor, laughing out loud, Clay says. All right. So there's a roo in 3 colors right there. There's thing in country music. Maybe you've heard, maybe you saw the thing that Burns did on country music. But my favorite line in the whole thing through all of that is 3 chords and the truth. So this is it, and maybe that's the message here today. Life is a story. 3 colors and the truth. There it is. Wow, I like it. You know what? I've never done that caption before, but I like it. Life is a story. 3 colors and the truth. Wow, is that fun? Chinoa, thank you for joining the class today. Your funny is cute. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. Ezra, he's looking good. I appreciate that. I'm so happy. Maggie, you go on YouTube and draw all kinds of things. Okay, Maggie, I wrote your name down here, so I'm going to look you up. I'm writing it down again. I wrote Maggie down, but I'm going to write Maggie Painter YouTube. I'm going to find some of your work and look at it. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. All right, so I'm going to give this one a chance to dry. There it is right there. Let me go out just for a little bit here. Here it is. There we go. All right. Life is a story, 3 colors and the truth. I painted with a bold red, a Joe's red. It's called Joe's red because Joe Miller created the color he liked. It's a French blue or an ultramarine blue, and it's a yellow, a deep yellow, or a Gamboge, Gambogee, Gamboge. That was a dye that came from a plant that was used to dye monks' robes with. And you know how I know that? Because someone on my morning show looked it up and told me. I was listening. All right, there you go. All right, let's see. Julie Walker, thank you for joining me. I'm just saying hello. Andrea, thank you. I saw you paint a root on a paper bag and a pizza box. Let me see if I can find that. I think it's right here. There he is right there. Here's a roux on a pizza box. Pizza is a served. You have to say it with that accent. Pizza is a served. So this is a mod pizza box. See it? To-go box. And I just simply painted a rooster in it. He's got a serving dish. He's got a dish towel over his arm. He's got on a little apron with some pins in his pocket. And there it is. So is it easy to paint on cardboard? No. But you can do it, okay? But most of the time, let me move this aside, and then before I start on my next thing, I paint on decent watercolor paper. This is 100% rag cotton, so it's a little more expensive than some paper. This paper here, you can buy at Michael's, 12 sheets of this. It's watercolor paper, and it's 140 pounds. That sounds like a heavy paper, right? But it is a pretty nice paper to paint on. Paints really well. It's got a little bit of here's the word, tooth. Okay, it has a little bit of a grip, and that's great for causing it to be steadfast. The colors get down in there. Light fast is the word I was looking for there. Okay, this is extra white and bright paper. It's 140 pounds, but look at the difference. You can see it there. What you see on the camera is right. This is just stark white. And so when I use those 3 colors on this, they really pop. So I like this paper very much. This is Fabriano paper. This is Kilimanjaro paper, and it's made in England, and it's made with 100% rag cotton also. And then it comes with a little sheet between it here. It's beautiful paper too. Look how bright white it is too, okay? Comparing it. So it's just what you get used to. Can you paint on books? Sometimes I do. In the mornings for warm-up, when I'm painting, I'll just turn to the pages of a book and I'll paint right in the book. I'll find a couple of words that make sense to me in thinking about roosters, and I'll paint real quickly in the book. So that's what I use this book for, just to loosen my hand up and to get my mind to go in a creative place. I'll read a word that maybe I have never read before. And I'll see a word and go, oh, that's a great word. Here's a word, pulsative. Pulsative, like pulse. The pulsative is to throb, or as your heart would beat to pulse. So I painted a little rooster who's playing kettle drums, because when I go into an orchestra, which I'm listening to an orchestra now, when I go in and I hear the guys go boom, 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 it moves your chest and you feel the percussion, you feel the pulse of that. And I like music like that. Okay, so I paint in books. This is a little harder to paint in than paper, because you have to be sometimes kind of careful. And then, of course, it ruins the pages, but so what? This is just my book, and I bought it for 25 cents at a used book sale. How fun is that? Okay. All right. So that's a little bit on paper. All right. Here we go. Let's pick up here. Neil Mowry. I got here for the caption. Good enough, buddy. Well, we're not done yet. And all right, Tara, I hope that helped you. Julie Walker, thanks for liking the book. Here we go. Let me do another little painting that I sent you. So did you get this one? This was 3 colors. Life is short. 3 colors in the truth. That's it. Just 3 colors. All right. I got time to do one more quick painting, and then I'm going to do 2 more quick paintings for you. All right. These are the 2 little peeps that I sent you, and one of them's holding a grasshopper. And I'd start by just doing the same thing I did with the other one. Okay? I'm going to slide my palette over a little bit so you can see that. I'm going to start with the one on the left because I'm right-handed. If I start with this one, then I'm going to put my hand in this one. Always be thinking ahead if you can. Just put a little bit of water on this one, and I might put a little water on this one while I'm doing it, but I'm getting this one soaked a little bit. I'm going to go in and get some of that yellow and just touch it like that. Shoo! Look how fast that is. People say, I don't understand how you paint so loose. And I'll say, just try painting faster. Just try touching it like this. What if you run out of the lines? Does that bother anybody if you're painting my style? My style is very whimsical. My style is illustrative. My style is what gets painted in books. I painted the illustrations in my own children's book. So there's my style. So that took 18.5 seconds. Now I'm going to change colors a little bit. I'm going to go in and I'm going to get a little bit of a darker color. Now I'm going to put some of that dark color back here too. And I think I might go get some of this orange right here. I just got some pumpkin orange. Just dance around the water a little bit here and just come in here and touch a little bit of orange in here. And then sometimes when you see chickens on the farm, they have some little pin feathers back here where their wings are developing. So I'll just touch that a little bit with some black and let that kind of come in. And then I might just go in and get a little of that that's got a little gray in it and come in here and darken up their feet a little bit. Here's why. You know, where does chickens spend most of their time? Kind of scratching for bugs, and they're out in the field. They're always pulling in dirt, digging, scratching, dusting themselves. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit of this yellow right here. I'm going to take a little of this green right here. And I'm going to paint this. Did you see it? It was in there all along. This little grasshopper. He's holding a grasshopper in his foot. I like this song, by the way. All right. Now watch this. I'm going to show you a trick. Look. I'm taking the top off of my fountain pen. Carol said, you don't worry about staying in the lines. You make new lines. Julie, from where do you buy your paints? You know what? That's a great question. Sometimes I just go to the art store and some of this paint came in this case to me. It's a Van Gogh. But these colors I buy and I squeeze them in the tubes. And I'm going to show you guys something fun in a minute if I have it up here on the desk. When I go to buy like green, I get it in tubes like this. Okay, and then I come home, take the top off, and squeeze a little bit right in there, like boom, and that'll last a long time. Okay, so I buy the paint like that. I also have, and I'm reaching across here to get something I want to show you. I carry a bag with me at all times. It's a tool bag. And I call it my bug out bag or my bailout bag. And inside here, I have a little water brush. I have a pen. I have another pen. Sometimes I have a pencil. I have an eraser. But look what I have that's also in the bag right here. An Altoid. well, with social distancing, I don't have to be close enough to the Altoids, but look what I have in this Altoid box. Ready? Here it is right here. It's my paint. That's my favorite red. That's my favorite French blue. That's my favorite yellow. There's my green I just put in there. There's a touch of black. Here's a little turquoise. So these are my colors. These are the ones I've chosen. So most of the time, if I know I'm going to study or not study, but really paint watercolor in a kind of a professional way, I'm going to get some color that's bold, that's strong, that's light fast, that works really well for me, Julie. So that's my answer. Michaels has some colors like that. Michaels has this painting pad right here you can get. This is made by Winsor Newton, and Winsor Newton are great colors, and here they are. But guess what? Even in this Winsor Newton set, French blue that I like and I've picked out, red that I like, and there's my Gambogi yellow. I don't think their yellow is as bold as the one I use. And for my roosters, I choose more. Same orange, same turquoise, same green, but and a little bit of white, which never gets used. Okay, so this is a good set of colors, and sometimes can be Winsor Newton. It can be expensive. Van Gogh can be expensive, and so can Cheap Joe's paints. But if you're going to dip into it, and I've sent Cheap Joe's a note. We're going to see if we can get some paints for you guys. So we're going to work on that. Okay. All right. So here's the little thing I was going to do. I'm going to pull in some of this. This is a pen. This is a fountain pen that just has really dark ink in it. And I'm just going to use it to let it just sort of run in here some and do something really fun like this, okay? You going to share? The answer is yes. Life is way too short to hold things and say mine. Man, people share with you guys all the time. Skeeter shares resources with you, ideas with you. You know what? My day's kind of built around that today. I couldn't wait until I got done with all my chores today and my serious work to come and do this important work to share with you guys. So that's why I painted that. Now I could go in there and find this grasshopper. He's just right in there. I would like that grasshopper to have a little bit of yellow in him, maybe, just because grasshoppers do have a touch of yellow in them. So I put something right there like that. I kind of like this painting. If I wanted a little sky in this one, watch how fast I can make some sky here. Look at this. What am I painting with? Just water. Just water. Just a little bit of water. And I'm going to go just touch a blue and just touch the sky. Look at that. And then just follow it across. And then just be random in where you go. You know, clouds are random. Sometimes we go in and we're so tight that we go like, I have to paint this little perfect cloud like this. I don't think that's how God paints clouds. I think God just goes, and the moisture in the air forms and changes, and wow. Okay? That's the story right there. You gonna share? You bet I am. All right? You ever eaten grasshopper? Okay, you don't have to share. All right, I'm gonna paint one more before I'm out of here. Pat, listen to you. Thank you, my dear. You know what? That's so sweet of you. Pat says she'd like to contribute some money for the paints for this group. Whoa. Pat, thank you. Wow. And I've got some supplies I know I'm going to send on, and we're going to get Joe's to help us out. Man, that would be, in fact, money would be great because we could go there and probably buy enough to outfit this whole art class for Brendan and his group. Wow, 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 wow. Love it, love it, love it. All right, here we go. I'm going to paint one more for you before I'm out of here, and I'm going to paint it on the back of this roo right here. See this where I started with colored pencils? All right, here's what I'm going to do. Here it is. Skeeter. It's 10 till. And Linda, you know what? I'll talk to Skeeter, and he and I will form a plan on how the Roo Crew can help. You guys are, I'm about to get emotional here. We've created from story to story to story. You guys are making me emotional. So I love it. I love it. Are you going to share? And the answer is, heck yeah, we're sharing. Wow. I didn't set that up. I didn't even think about it. That was not my plan. My plan was to share with, but thank you. All right. All right, so we'll talk about that. Skeeter and I'll make a plan, and we'll get back and I'll post it. This is going to be great. All right, here we go. Last painting today. So here, me too, Bobby. You're in. Okay, I'm trying to get a gift of paint, paper, and pens for your niece. Can you share with the Morning Rude peeps? Yeah, Kim. You know I will do that, Kim, because you guys are generous to me, and so we're going to do that. We'll just take it on. It'll be fun to see what happens. Okay. Mind if I inquire where your fascination with ruse stems from? Clay, what a great question, Clay. My last name, Clay, real quickly, because I've got 10 minutes here, and I could do this painting in 7.5. Here we go. Clay, my name, like Skeeter is Skeeter. We see that right there. See? That's Skeeter. My name is Han. It's the English spelling of the German name Han. There's also Hawn, Hann. There's Hon. That's Asian. That's not me. You can tell by my thick accent and by my looks. I painted with a Chinese artist one time, and he goes, "You're Han." I go, "No, I'm Han." He goes, "Yeah, you know Han, Hon." I said, "No, I'm Haun, the English German version." He goes, "You're funny." So we had a great time. He taught me a little bit about being loose. I took a class from this guy named Lian Zin. He's phenomenal. So Han means, ready for this? Rooster. That's it. When I was a kid, we raised chickens. I was fascinated. I raised a little rooster one time who used to ride on my bulldog's back, and that's even before we had video cameras, and I'm so sorry that I don't have that today. Okay, here we go. A little water on the paper. I love doing this in the mornings. Sometimes it's a way to finish my show. There's a little paint just getting splashed down. Look at that. You're thinking, oh my gosh, this guy is crazy. Does he always paint like this? And you can say, yeah, most of the time. But look what's happening. There's my 3 colors again. You see them? And I'm going to throw one more color in there. I'm going to throw just a couple spots of black in there. A little more water. There's a little black, a little more blue. All right, that's it right there. There's our rooster. Some of you already see him, don't you? This is his stomach. This is going to be his tail. That's his head right there. Okay, can you see this? Watch. I'm going to enlarge this just a little bit right here like this. Okay, so you can see me. Get it up. Take a look right here. All right, there it is right there. All right, I just blew on it. Now I'm just going to wash out my brush, and I'm going to connect these feathers in like this. I think this song is crescendoing. Could it happen that I finish this rooster with the music? You ever have those races to yourself? You go like, is he going to finish with the song? Skeeter can tell you the great big relays that we used to run at camp, and we would go, wow, I think they're going to finish with the music, and everybody could hear it happen, and they were just going, this could happen. Got a reprise going. We're pulling it in. There's a little red going back in right there. A little red rolling in. Got to get some yellow here. Come in and do the beak right here. There it is. You see him coming, a little bit of legs coming down. See how fast that rooster came to life? 3 minutes so far. I'm going to come in with this pen, and I'm going to just touch his eye right here a little bit. There it is, a little spot. Cut down into here with this. Watch this pen. You know what I love about this pen? It comes in on top of the paint, and it bleeds a little bit. Look at this. Can you see that happening right there? Just in front of you. I love this. I'm never tired of doing this. It surprises me constantly. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to end. How fun, huh? All right. My camera's frozen, is it? No, I don't think so. Okay. You blew life into the blobs. Julie, boom! You are a poet. I love it. Julie says, I blew life into the blobs. Isn't that fun? What happens when you do stuff like that? Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap up in 2 minutes here and then say goodbye. And thank you for letting me just sort of take a one-sided painting time with you and paint in front of you. So there's our painting for today. I'd catch some of this green right here and pull it in. Maybe a little of this and a little of this blue right here. See if I can get myself some little bit of grass going down here with the shadow. Yeah, that's coming together just like that nicely. Okay. Voila. I might come back with a pen like this one and just highlight that beak a little bit and put his, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Put some squiggles in there like he's windswept. I like painting this music. I just feel like I'm directing here. All right. So Eve just emailed me. Thank you, Eve. Okay, I'll look at it in a second. Here we go. Last sip of tea, and then I want to say goodbye. Here's what we painted today. We painted this rue. Life is a story, 3 colors and the truth. Wow, don't you love that? Look at this one. You going to share? That's the question. Yes, we are. We're going to share. Because so much has been given to us. We're blessed. This is where we started on the back side, but this is what we have now, okay? Okay. So there it is. This is the rue that just happened. Look, I'm not even going to change that right there because it's so perfect. Just like it is. I love it. 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 Makes me laugh, makes me smile, makes me feel like life is short, celebrate. 6, is it what? Is today the 18th? Ha! 6/18/20. All right, Skeeter, I'm going to send you this painting and the video, and you can sell it. And then whatever money we get from this video, maybe I'll just auction it off. Whatever money we get from this, whatever money you get from this rue, we'll put that into the art kitty for you guys to have some art supplies too. Okay, so this will go up for auction. All right. So life is short. Celebrate. And then paint. Should add to that. All right. Hey, thank you guys for joining me. Oh, what a fun day. And thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, kept a lot of people online for a whole hour. Blessings for giving me your time and energy. And to all the David's Table folks and Capernaum folks, I'm grateful to you. I thank you that God made you special. And that you're blessed. Skeeter, we will talk. I am out of here and on a sound effect. And I think it's this one right here today.